teacher's lies. Ooh, come save your child. Come save your child. I say come sisters. Come and take back your child. This great. Calling all the women, calling every single mother, Koffa, woman, let us unite.
Hello, everybody. Good
Hello.
evening. Welcome to Women with Words. We're here again. It's Thursday evening and it's 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're here. We are here all dressed up for all of you.
Yes.
Today is going to be fascinating. Fascinating.
Yes.
We're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn about giving back and everything we need to know and how we can get motivated to help our country. But let me introduce myself. I'm Glendy Juniors with my two fabulous hosts here, co-hosts,
Hi.
NTBA,
Hi, I'm Agatha Joseph.
and of course, Beauty is back.
Hi,
Welcome
Eva
back,
Star.
Auntie Beauty.
Beauty is back.
Did
So
y'all miss me last week?
Yes, we
sure
did miss you last week.
You know the spice was gone.
I know.
You're spicy, man. You're very spicy.
The spice was gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is Women with Words. We're on today, Thursday. I actually wanted to also mention that yesterday actually made us 2 months.
Oh.
So yes, 2 months. Yeah, so we're going at it. Of course, the technocrat is not here today. Mr. Pat Moore, maybe he'll join later. Who knows? But he's not here. Just to tell you a little bit about the show today, of course, we do have a guest. Our guest today is Mr. Stephen Koffa. We'll bring him on in a little bit. This is I don't know if they can describe men as phenomenal, but
Why not?
He is absolutely phenomenal. The work that he has done, we felt it's a need to bring him on so we can talk and highlight what he has done. So we want to encourage everybody who's watching to please share the show. Please share it everywhere. If you're coming from St. Patrick's High School, share it. If you're from St. Teresa's Convent, please share it. I will say tonight, Agatha wants to bluff because Stevie is a cousin.
Finally, I have a relative on this show, people. I'm claiming him even if he doesn't claim me.
So tonight is Agatha's cousin's night.
Yes.
I'll probably get her back next week because y'all know I know everybody.
Related to everyone.
Yes. So on the show tonight, of course, he'll be here. We'll be talking about what he's been doing with the association and some stuff. So that will be coming shortly. Agatha will tell us a little bit about the show and then we'll bring our guests on.
All right. So yeah, we got a really exciting show for you all today. Please visit our page, Facebook group, Women with Words, email gsbc@gmail.com. Tonight's giveaway is 6 yards of Lapa Ankara fabric, if you are familiar with it like that. Of course, we're going to be talking to Stephen Koffa. We're going to talk about our Liberian-owned business today. I hear something really wonderful is going on in the Maryland, Virginia, D.C. area, so we're going to get into that a little later. Today, we're not going to skip Ask Auntie, y'all, because we got some juicy questions. And, of course, our Facebook page has been on and popping, so can't wait to look into that also.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Do not leave this spot. Grab a glass of water. We have 3 beautiful women, and we're going to be inviting our very handsome gentleman on this show right now.
Come on in.
So, welcome, Stephen. Welcome.
Hello, ladies.
Welcome.
Hello, ladies. You guys are very good for my ego. I should come on this show every week.
Come on.
I know, right?
We speak the truth.
Yes, come on. Let me just tell you something. Most of the when we share the flyers with the different guests that's coming on, believe it or not, that's nothing to Charles and Burma. But I tell you, Stevie, I think you got more likes from the women from the
Okay.
I was like, and we made sure to get a picture that would just say pop.
Okay, folks, let me just tell you a disclaimer. I paid these women to say all these nice things about me, okay? So they're earning their keep tonight.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. Yes, we are. But it's a pleasure to have you here with us, Women with Words. Of course, we're not experts. We are women. We have experiences, and our show is primarily to talk about social issues. Nothing political. Yes, there may be times that will bring us some political stuff, but we're not going to be talking about any particular party or anything. We're just going to be looking on how it affects the society. And also, we don't only want to identify problems. We also want to identify problems and make suggestions on how we can solve them. What is important also is that we highlight when we are doing good so that people can be able to learn from it. But before I also want to highlight that November is Diabetes Month. And we've shared we want to create an awareness of people who are diabetic, or I think they say the three things. If you have a lot of sweat, thirst, and there's a lot of things, but we will go into that. We'll talk about it a little bit. But for all those of our diabetics out there, we're identifying with you this month. So this week was your week. Next week will probably be Alzheimer's. There's a whole lot of things in the month of November, but we want to identify with all of our viewers, friends, families, those that are diabetics. We identify with you. If you want to come on and just do a 1 minute or 2 minutes or create an awareness on diabetes, please feel free. This show is your show and it's our show. So, to our guests, tell us about you. Tell us a little bit about Stephen Koffa.
Okay. First of all, I'm one of the old people on the block. So I recently ran a 60 for 60 campaign. Actually, I turned 60 in September.
No.
And we used that campaign to raise, if you can believe it or not, that campaign raised a little over $12,000.
Wow.
So folks have asked me to say, okay, has the campaign ended? And I told them, I say that campaign was so successful that I will remain 60 for the rest of my life. So people can keep sending me $60, you know.
Yes.
But it all goes to a worthy cause, you know, for the work that we're doing in Liberia for St. Teresa's Convent and the rebuilding of St. Patrick's. But I'm also a 1979 graduate of St. Patrick's High School. And then, after the coup in Liberia in 1980, a couple of years later, left Liberia, came to the U.S. where I went to school and then started a career in information technology. And so I built an entire career in IT. And in that particular industry, I've played many, many roles. And one of those is leadership. And a lot of the lessons I learned as a leader in my professional organization transferred to the work that I do for the charity organization. So I'm very grateful for that type of experience that I'm actually leveraging now to the organization that I run.
Okay. So we're happy. We're glad to have you. Of course, Agata, you know me, and that is Auntie Beauty up there.
Yes, Auntie Beauty is the only one I don't know personally. So I have to say, because Agatha is my cause, as you know.
Okay.
Tell her, Stephen.
Yeah. Glennie G, Glennie, I've known Glennie a long time. She is a pillar in our community.
Yeah.
Highly productive young lady.
Thank you.
A role model for both women and men, especially when it comes to leadership. So a lot of the things that we try to accomplish as leaders, I see Glennie as a trailblazer in those things. So she deserves a lot of kudos.
Well, the show is about you today.
No, I understand that. But Eva, I've seen Eva on many occasions on your program, and of course, she's a presence on Facebook.
Oh
But
yes.
I find Eva to be
Me?
one of the
Oh
most.
Lord.
I find Eva to be one of the most entertaining persons I've ever seen online. What I like about her is that in anything she will get straight to the point. She didn't let
Yeah.
a beat around the bush. You
Oh,
come
no.
here, beat around the bush, she will shut you down. straight.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, yes.
I appreciate her for that. Actually,
Thank you.
I look forward to meeting Eva in person one of these days.
Yeah, you will.
Oh, we'll have a blast.
Yes, yes. So I want to start from of course we want to talk about what can you tell us or how you can encourage people to be able to get to the point that they want to give back and not look back. Give
Yep.
back, to the alma mater and not just leave and forget. I actually wore my t-shirt for LU today.
Oh, nice.
Just because you're coming on the show. I know the Cottington people will be vexed, but that's okay. I'm here for LU. So where I wanted to start from is how did you all do the merger? Because you have Convent and St. Patrick's. How did you do that? Because to see how it's working beautifully, we want to start there first, and then we can branch off into the different subtopics.
Okay. Many of you are familiar with St. Patrick's and Convent for the Liberian audience, and you know the relationship between the two schools growing up in Liberia. In fact, I think in 1970 is when they started. The year 1970 was the first class that started doing joint graduation, just to basically solidify that relationship and make it seem like, even though we're two separate schools, all girl, all boy, but because of the relationship we built, it seemed almost like co-ed. And so you couldn't think about St. Patrick's without thinking about Convent and vice versa. So in the early 90s, the St. Patrick's High School boys got together, especially guys from the classes, I think between 1970 and 1973. They were the ones who actually founded the Alumni Association, and that history is also on our website. They founded the organization, and at the same time, there was a group of Coleman graduates that founded St. Teresa's Coleman Alumni Association, I believe in the New York, New Jersey area. I stand to be corrected, but I think that's where it was founded. So these two organizations were operating on parallel tracks until there was a meeting of the minds. At some point, they decided that there would be more value to the organization if the two organizations merge. So I want to believe it's either in the mid-90s that the organizations merged to become one organization, since St. Teresa's Coleman and St. Patrick's High School Alumni Association. And then it got rebranded, I think in the late 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. It was rebranded under the administration of Carlina Port. Under her administration, it was rebranded to Saints-Friskies Alumni Association. And for those who are not familiar, Saints is the mascot for St. Patrick's High School, and Friskies is the mascot for St. Teresa's Convent. So once it got rebranded now, basically everybody thinks of the organization as Saints-Friskies. And we're chartered under the name St. Patrick's High School and St. Teresa's Convent Alumni Association. Okay. But we do business as Saints-Friskies Alumni Association.
Okay. And it's kind of interesting, and I think I'm sure in every organization there are some challenges, but what we see outside is just beautiful. I will also let Eva and Agata know that I'm also from Convent. I went to Convent Elementary up to third grade.
So did I.
Yes. So yes, I know. Yeah, I just want to make sure you know that little piece. So I am connected to Stevie.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So tell us before we go, because we want to hear a lot about St. Patrick's, but we also want to hear about how are you able to motivate people to just give.
Okay.
When these people raising money, one of the things I admired is the classes.
Right.
Like the different classes, Nimi fundraiser in honor of someone and making and raising like $10,000, $15,000, $25,000. How did you all do that?
Can I before you jump into that though, Stephen? I'm sorry, Glendy. For folks that are listening that don't know where St. Patrick's stands right now, maybe that will help them understand the whole thing. Tell us about St. Patrick's High School as it stands today. What
Okay.
happened to the St. Patrick's we know, and then we can get into that.
Sure.
Okay, so let me give you a little bit of background on St. Patrick's. St. Patrick's was founded in the mid 1930s, I think around 1936, and the school functioned until 1996. Then it was shut down. Okay,
96.
so between 96 and now, St. Patrick's as we know it doesn't exist. In fact, the old campus is where Stella Maris Polytechnic, I think it's called, exists right now. So part of our mission, and the reason why I say part of our mission is because our mission is twofold: support St. Teresa's Convent and rebuild St. Patrick's. So part of our mission is to rebuild St. Patrick's. And we started a campaign to rebuild St. Patrick's High School about the second year into my administration. I was elected in 2017, May, okay? By late 2018, I had already started and launched a campaign to start raising funds to rebuild St. Patrick's High School. So as I stand now, we're in the middle of the reconstruction of St. Patrick's High School, and we hopefully will be able to complete our construction sometime next year and then reopen the school, and so that St. Patrick's of old can reestablish itself again in society as one of the elite institutions that educate boys.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Tell us about the fundraising.
Okay.
Like how do you all do it?
Okay, so you talked about how do we motivate people. You know, when I was elected president of the association had gone through a series of crises, leadership crisis, existential crisis, all of those things, right? Mm-hmm. And the president who has succeeded, Paulina Port, did an incredible job under the most difficult circumstances to keep the organization afloat. And I always like to give those who came before me, Paulina and the late Charles Ford, they came after the organization went through its most difficult period, where there was lack of support, lack of participation, but they kept the ship afloat and they did the best that they could. So I always like to recognize that. By the time I became president, okay, the organization was largely fractured. There were people who were not participating. In fact, we had lost a lot of credibility in the community. So when I became president, at the time I was elected, actually, I didn't seek to become president of the association. You know, in Liberia, where you become a frisky child, and because of your friskiness, they take you to do something.
Yeah.
That's essentially how I came into this position. We're trying to reconstitute the organization to try to get people to participate, get more support, so that we could focus on the things that the organization was established for. And they had a group. What happened was they put together an ad hoc committee, and that committee started to have, outreach activities. So they had a picnic right in the park. So I was invited and I went. So when I got to the picnic, I'm just trying to tell you how I came to this thing with my friskiness. I got to the picnic. People were collecting, names, email addresses on pen and paper. So me with my big mouth, I went and I said, "What? We're in the 21st century and we're still collecting information on pen and paper.
Exactly.
We are doing so." And then I'll never forget. In the May, June said, "Oh, for true? All right." They say, "You're the IT man. Then build something for us so we don't have to do this anymore." And so I said, okay. So the first thing I did was I built the current website that we have. I built that website, produced all of the content on it, because I felt like we needed to leverage technology at the very least to get information out about what we're doing, right? So that people can know that, one, we exist, and here's what the organization is about. So when I did that, I staged it, had a few people look at it. They really loved it. And for Paulina Port's last convention, which was in 2017 when I was elected, I presented it then, and it would the website, it was warmly received. So at that convention, people started to canvass to get me to run for president. Of course, I looked at the history of the recent history of the organization. I found it too challenging. I was like, what? I don't think I can do this, But I joked that one of the oldest St. Patrick boys, Vampla Holman, I always say this, he graduated, I think Vampla graduated like 1972. He literally put a gun to my head and said, "Look, you
gotta do it.
No for an answer. You have to do this." So I accepted this under duress. not knowing how it was going to turn out. So basically, it was sink or swim. And I
Yeah.
remember the first weekend after I was elected, I sat down and I was talking to one of my closest confidants. And I told her, I said, we graduated the same class of Alma Mater. I said, this thing that, and I put my hand in, I don't know what I would do. But what I did was I sat down and reflected on it. And I've always been one person who is not afraid to fail. Okay. I wouldn't try something because I think I will fail. I would try it because I think I can succeed.
Right.
And so I started to think about, okay, I've taken on this responsibility. What early message am I going to try to communicate to get people attention?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I said, okay, the organization was founded for two reasons. One, to support the girls at SDC, and two, to rebuild St. Patrick's. So I had to create a value proposition. And that value proposition was created around our two flagship programs. The A2S program, which I call Alumni to Student Sponsorship, and the acronym is A2S, and then Rebuilding St. Patrick's. And of course, I also added a third one, which I thought was even more challenging, and that was to unify the organization across generations. Because at the time I took over, the organization was fractured across generations. Because when you talk to the people who are younger, they would tell you, oh, the Alumni Association for the old people,
Right.
And so I felt that in order for the organization to move forward in the direction we wanted it to go in, we had to have an organization that transcended generations.
Yes.
So one of my early strategy was not only reach out to folks who graduated as early as, say, the mid 1960s, because those are the ones that I actually was able to get in touch with. But I
Wow.
actually reached all the way across several generations to the last class. This is in St. Patrick's that graduated in 1996. And then for St. Teresa's Convent, which of course never shut down. So you got kids who,
Right.
and forgive me when I say kids, but these are the millennials who are graduating. How do we get this group of young, energetic graduates into the organization? That was a challenge. So the principles that I employed, I called VARTA, right? VART, vision, action, results, transparency, and accountability. If you ever want people to give you support, and I used to believe in the conventional wisdom was, oh, librarians don't support their organizations, they don't support charity. But the work we've done actually turned that conventional wisdom on its head. Because it's not that librarians don't support these organizations. What librarians demand, and they have every right to demand, is transparency and accountability.
Yep.
And this is the issue that a lot of organizations that I've observed have been faced with. Yeah, there's always crisis of finance, accountability, all of those things. Okay. And our organization faced that too. So looking at some of those things, there were lessons that I learned, right? For one thing, I said, let me communicate a vision that is simple, easy to understand. The idea of sponsoring kids at St. Teresa's Convent is not an original idea. In fact, it's a universal idea that cuts across a lot of organizations.
Right.
Any charity organization, not just alumni associations, right? But I think the way that we implement it is the major difference. So what we did was we said, okay, rather than have create a pot and say people should give us money to create a scholarship program, I built the A2S program around sponsors who I would assign students. Okay. So for example, I would call Glenda and say, hey, Glenda, I have this program where we sponsor girls at SDC. And I've already gathered the information about how much it costs to sponsor girls in these classes, which girls qualify for the program, and here's the criteria we set for sister to vet and select the girls. Right. I say, Glenda, here's what I want from you. I know that people's finances can be fluid, right? Yes. There are things you may be able to afford this year. You may not be able to afford it next year. True. So our program was built as a relay organization in our sponsorship. And here's what I mean by that. I'll tell you, Glennie, I said, Glennie, just give me 1 year. Just sponsor one girl for 1 year, say in kindergarten or first grade. Or you will look at our matrix and say, okay, when I looked at the matrix, I saw I can afford $520 to sponsor a girl in the 6th grade, but I can only do it for this year. Glennie, when you sponsor that girl for that year, we will thank you. And then for the following year, I will reach out to Agatha and say, hey, Agatha, Glennie took Howard from 6th grade to 7th grade.
Right.
Now I need you, Agatha, please take Howard from 7th grade to 8th grade. Agatha will look, and mind you now, Agatha is not going to take my word for it. I will send her to our website. She will see where all the information lives. She will see Glennie there as a sponsor. She will see the child Glennie sponsored. She will see the amount of money Glennie paid for that child.
Beautiful.
She will call me, Agatha will call me, ask me more questions. I will answer all of Agatha's questions to make her comfortable with the program. That this program, we're not only sponsoring these girls, but we're showing you where the money is going. Transparency. We're producing reports, accountability, all of those things. Those are 2 critical characteristics of our program that the sponsors and folks who are would-be sponsors actually love. So then Agatha said, okay, Stephen, sign me up for Howard for a grade, I would take her from 7 to 8. And if Agatha can go from 8 to 9, we'll take that too. But if Agatha can't, then I'll reach out to Eva and say, hey, Eva, look, man, I got this program, and I will give Eva the entire narrative about the program. Eva will check it out. She will vet it out. She will call me with questions. And I tell you, this is how that program was built. To tell you that that program has exceeded my wildest expectation will be an understatement. We started the first year, I think, with just under 50 girls for about somewhere between $13,000 to $18,000. Today, we have about 120 girls that we sponsor.
Wow.
And over the 3-year period, when you calculate all of the girls that have gone through our programs, our sponsors have pumped close to $170,000 into our ATS program. That program is what actually gave us credibility in the community for us to be able to do the other things that we wanted to do. Okay. And I can't tell you how grateful I am to our sponsors and folks who support the programs. And our sponsors come in all hues. You got the St. Patrick's and Convent alumni. You got people who never attended any of those institutions, but admire the program and the way we run the program, offer sponsorship. We have organizations who admire the program, offer sponsorship. I got churches. I got one of my sponsors who actually is a graduate of Convent. She sponsors, I believe, 3 children right now, but she also got her church to come on board and sponsor. We got corporate sponsorships. McCormick Corporation, through my sister when she was working, Juliana Koffa, who was working for McCormick at the time. McCormick has a program where they have a multi-million-dollar budget that they give towards charity organizations. We entered into that program and I was able to win charity sponsorship for our A2S program. Over the last 3 years, McCormick has given us close to, I believe, $20,000.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So the program is so successful. And the thing is, when you go to Liberia, because what I do since I became president, I go to Liberia once a year. And one of the reasons I go is I don't want the program to be this remote program that I have no connection with. So I go to Convent. I talk to Sister Evelina, who is the principal, vice principal, Woki. I talk to the teachers. I talk to the students. But more importantly, I talk to parents whose families are impacted by the sponsorship, the money that comes through sponsorship. And I tell you, Glennie and Eva and Agatha, I have had parents sit down in tears telling me the impact that this program has on their families. I mean, it is truly transformational. I have, shot videos of these parents talking about the impact of the program on their families and published it. So when I say this is our flagship program, I mean it. I intend our goal actually, because Coleman has about a student population of a little over 900.
Okay.
Our goal at some point is to sponsor at least 400 of those girls, right?
Wow.
At
Wow.
any given time. So right now we have achieved 20% of our goal with over
Okay.
100 students in the program. So we're pushing to keep increasing the number of kids on that program because I tell you this, life is tough in Liberia.
Oh
But
yeah.
in spite of that, families recognize the importance of not just giving their children education, but
Right.
good quality education. And St. Teresa's Convent has stood out. If you look at some of the results from the West African exams that they take, okay, last, not this year, but last academic year,
Yes.
the kids from Convent stood out. We
Yeah.
had
Yes.
Blessing Jalabai, Alicia Wright,
Saw
uh,
those.
I believe it was Fatimata Pusa, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, the name.
Yes.
They topped the West African exam. And this just goes to show the kind of work that the teachers are doing, that Sister Evelina are doing with those girls at St. Teresa's Convent. And even when you go there and you talk to the girls, you are impressed, okay, with the level of education that they're getting from St. Teresa's Convent. So we want to continue to support them,
Okay.
okay? And I
Yeah.
always tell this joke, when I first became president, and a lot of my sympathetic boys used to call me, harass me all the time. Oh, my man, why all the money you're going to go and get it? I said, Jeremy, I used to tell them, I said, Jeremy, relax.
I know.
The road to St. Patrick's right now go through COVID, just like it used to when we were in high season.
Okay. Yeah.
So our the strategy was, we already have an institution that has students in it.
Right.
Let's support them first before we start to worry about rebuilding St. Patrick's.
Yes.
I think that strategy was appreciated by everyone, especially the girls who graduated from Convent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is why, once that program was stable and going, when we pivoted to rebuilding St. Patrick's, some of our biggest supporters and contributors are the girls who attended St. Teresa's Convent.
That's
So we're
awesome.
really grateful for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really awesome.
So
So
ladies,
do you guys have any other questions before I go
Oh,
to?
we got lots of
yeah, we
questions.
got like don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Just stay put.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you. This is Women with Words. If you're just joining us, we are talking to the phenomenal Stephen Koffa. He is the national president of Saints-Friskies. He is telling us he's trying to help motivate all of us to be able to remember to give back to our school. There's a comment here that I wanted to read to see if you will comment on it. And this is from Raphael Kakwai. And he says, unification across generations is always challenging. So can you tell us the why and the how you wanted to do it through that?
Okay, great. That's actually, Raphael is actually correct. It's challenging, but this is what I had to do. I had to actually work to get the younger generation to reintegrate into the organization. And let me tell you why I say that. One of the things I did was I had to reach out to all of those who I knew were part of the younger generation and talk to them so that I could meet with their classes. And I would give one particular class as an example. Class of 96, which was the last class of St. Patrick's High School. Very productive young men, okay? And what happened was one of the graduates from that class, Robert Williams, who's actually on our board right now. Early on, when Robert saw what we were doing, he really liked it. And he reached out to support. Robert began to support what I was doing without me even proving anything to him. So I spoke to Robert. I said, Robert, you class of 96, I really want to reach out to your class because I want to get the younger generation into the organization. Mm-hmm. And so what he did was he connected me with a few of his classmates. And I began to talk to them, okay? Snola Brooklyn, who's actually my god brother, was one of the members of that class. I used to have long conversations with Snola also about speaking to members of their class. And so what they did, they're one of the most organized classes. So what they did was when they had, I believe it was their 20th reunion here in Maryland, they invited me to come to talk to them. And they gave me an opportunity to talk to them. I spoke to them about the organization and what we're planning to do. At this time, we hadn't accomplished anything because this was like 2 months into my administration. I hadn't done anything yet. So basically, people looking at me like, why do I need to talk to this guy? This organization for these old people and whatnot. But all I asked for was an audience. And I'm grateful that they gave me that audience. From that time, I built an ongoing relationship with them. I kept in touch. As often as I could talk to them, I did. At the same time, we were working to accomplish things to prove to them that we were a different organization than than the reputation we had in the past.
Yep.
That making that personal connection with that class was a winning strategy because through that, I was able to build a relationship based on trust from key members who were in leadership of that class. And because of that, they became my ambassadors to the rest of their class. And this is the strategy I used across the board. And when I say reaching out, look, I'm talking about picking up the phone and saying, hey, Agatha, I hear you are I'm sorry, I'm Stephen Koffa, I'm calling you. I know you don't know me, but I want to talk to you about the organization, right? This, our alumni association, of course. Many people were suspicious, who is this guy calling me talking about some back?
Yeah.
I've been through with this organization for a while. But all I asked for was a chance. Just give me a chance, okay?
Right.
You don't have to, I'm not asking you to give me money now.
Right.
I'm not asking you to do anything. All I was asking for early on was for folks to pay attention. And what are you paying attention to? One, I built a database of email addresses to reach out to folks. Through our website, I built a digital media campaign. And this is how I used to inform everyone about what we were doing. However small or large, okay? We were pushing this information out. And mind you, just like I reached out to the class of 96, I was reaching out to the class of 1965. 1967, okay? Reaching out to them and everyone in between. Before you know it, I was talking to graduates from St. Teresa's class of 2002. This is the millennial generation, okay? And
That's
over
awesome.
time, over a period of 4 years, ladies, I have to tell you, unifying the organization across generations is one of my greatest accomplishments because I believe that now, if you graduated in 2000 or 2019, or you graduated in 1965, when you think about the Alumni Association, Saints-Friskies Alumni Association, everybody now thinks about one organization. Everybody work towards attaining our goals because they see the results. And because of the results that they have seen, it has had this inspirational effect on classmates who have been sitting on the sidelines, others in the community who were trying to find opportunity to support charity but didn't have that before, have come on board. I'm telling you, the support is overwhelming, and I have to give a lot of credit to a lot of the folks on the different committees that I set up when I became president. Because again, we had to literally rebuild the organizations. So I have folks on planning committee, finance committee, digital media committee, rebuild St. Patrick's committee. Then you have the chapters, we reconstituted our chapters. We have one in Liberia, chapter in Liberia. We have our Mid-Atlantic chapter. We have our Southwest chapter, Southeastern chapter. So we're trying everybody working in concert for us to achieve our goals, support our girls at SDC and rebuild St. Patrick's. I'm telling you, people have become so inspired. We have seen one family, okay, because of the work that we're doing in memory of the matriarch of that family, gave us almost $40,000 at one time. At one time, okay, the Mashar family, $40,000 at one time. to support the rebuilding of St. Patrick's and our girls at STC. So
That's
the work
wonderful.
that we're doing actually speaks for itself. And
Yes.
again, I am always grateful to everyone who is a part of what we're doing, our classes, our officers, our committee members, our friends, our family. I even started a program of collaborating with other alumni association. We started that with the Foxes. Then
Yeah.
in subsequent years, we did that right before COVID. In fact, just when COVID hit, it's just that
Yeah.
we didn't realize COVID had hit. We had a successful collaborative of Valentine's event with my cause, who was the president of CATS Alumni Association.
And we have more work in store
Exactly. And
on
we
COVID.
actually, I remember talking to her, we got very ambitious. We said,
Yeah.
look, if we can do this on this level, we can even do it on a
On
grander
a
scale.
greater level.
We were thinking
Absolutely.
about, and she can confirm this, we were thinking about having sort of
Don't
like
tell them. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Don't tell
no,
them.
no, we can say
Don't,
it. We
don't
can
tell
say
them.
it.
Don't tell
We
them.
can
Don't
say
tell
it.
them.
Okay. We're thinking
Keep
about
them in
having
suspense.
a HIPCO concert where we'll bring all Liberian artists together and have one grand concert where
And
the
we will
funds will
still do
go
that.
towards supporting, St. Teresa's Convent, St. Patrick's High School and Cathedral.
We
I mean,
can
those are
still
the
do
things we
that.
were thinking about. We're thinking really big,
Yes.
because
Yes.
the motivation was there, the inspiration was there, the support was coming in. So for us, it was just a matter of putting ideas together and carrying them out because we knew at this point we had the credibility in the community and the support was there. So, the only thing I can say is there's no magic bullet. You have to actually prove yourself to the community, and the community will support you. It doesn't happen all the way around. You don't go to the community and say, y'all support me, and you got nothing to show. Okay? You have to prove yourself, transparency, accountability, results. Then, as I say, build it and they will come. That's essentially what has happened here.
Yes.
And
Yes.
our support base, as I told you before, cuts across segments in both our Liberian society and even in the American society. Folks from across the world have been very supportive of what we're doing. So I didn't do this by myself. The ideas, some ideas came from me, some ideas came from other people, but we always sat down and thought through ideas and try to figure out the most strategic way to carry out these ideas so that it can be effective. And this is what has happened. I am so grateful for my team who were with me in the last administration and even the new ones that came on board in this current, because I'm in my second term now, and I'm grateful for those who have come on board.
Yes.
Even as a matter of continuity and succession plan, I have this idea of having leadership forum. I think I've reached out to Glendy about that. I will
Yes.
soon start having my leadership forum session. And my goal is, it is from this leadership forum session that I will find the next generation of leaders for our organization over the next 3 years. So those are some of the ideas that I have, but I am so grateful to
Yes.
everyone who have supported us both within the organization and outside of the organization. So
So
grateful.
so yes. Oh, this is amazing. You've done an amazing job. You continue to do an amazing job. There's absolutely no reason why you're not there for life. Someone is saying for life.
No, and,
Yes.
and let me tell you, I have always resisted that, but for life, I keep telling them my name is not Robert Mugabe. I do not want to die. I do not want to die of this. That's
Yes.
what we want to grow. That's what this leadership forum is about. To groom people who will succeed
And groom
when
the
this
next
term
one.
is over.
Yes.
Because our constitution only allows me 2 terms. I'm in my second term.
Yes. So
So no, go ahead.
as we come to the close of this section, of course, Agata also, I like to say Agata.
Right.
Agata, I can't catch it.
I'll answer to whatever. I've been called worse.
I like to say Agata. So, of course, Agata served also 2 terms, and even myself. And we're here. I know when everything is good, it is so good. But I want when you have those challenges, I want you to tell us that in the midst of the challenges, I'm sure there have been challenges that have discouraged you. What
Yes.
were you able to do to still continue to keep focus
Okay.
so that you don't lose track of your goals.
Right. So whenever you feel, for me, in my leadership style, whenever I'm faced with challenges, I still fall back or lean on my greatest assets, which are people, right? I believe if you want to lead a productive organization, you have to value the people around you and make them understand that everything we're trying to do, I cannot do it without you. Okay. So
Exactly.
when I have been faced with challenges, whether it's personality conflict or not being able to not being able to carry out assigned tasks, all of those things create conflict, right? You will always
Right.
find problems. Okay. But what I usually do is I will reach out to people. Okay. I will make them understand their value to the organization, even when it's most challenging.
Mhm.
Not only that, then I will show them our goal. I say, you see how I care in a sixth grade. You see, you see Angel Jaliba in kindergarten.
Right.
That's who we're doing this for. Okay. If you quit on me now because of maybe issues you may have, Angel may not go to school.
Correct.
How I may not get her tuition paid. Okay. So I bring the focus back to why we even exist. Here's why. So if we're able to circumvent the problems that we're faced with and focus on our goals, I always find that to be a winning strategy because you accomplish two things that way. You get your people to refocus on the goal,
Hmm.
and you get them to realize the value that they bring to the organization. And I tell them all the time, I say, I only shine because when people tell me, Steven, it's because of them. It's because
Yeah.
of these people I have around me. Look, our Saints-Friskies nation is large. Okay. None of these things we have accomplished would be accomplished without them. Okay.
Right.
I may
Yes.
be the leader that, I have an officer in the organization who calls me a slave driver. So I may be the slave driver, but at the end of the
In a
day,
loving way.
yes, at the end of the day, they understand the reason why we're doing this is way too important to be focused on things that may have upset us because you can always solve problems. There's always a way to solve problems, especially when those problems and problems always involve people.
Right.
So for me, my greatest assets are the people in the organization or the people that I get support from. I always lean on them when there are challenges. They always come through for me. That's why we are successful. They
Right.
always come through for me. Okay.
So before we let you go and continue, the quick question: if someone wanted to donate to Saints-Friskies, where would we go to do so? How do we
Okay.
donate?
There are several ways to donate to Saints-Friskies. Okay. If you go on our website, which is, I don't know if you can put it up here, but our website is stcspphs.org. Okay. On our website, at the very top of every page, you will see our Cash App, which is $SFAAUSA. And then we also have PayPal portal where you can actually make donations. When you click on the PayPal link, it will take you to the PayPal portal, and then you can make your donations there. If you want to donate by Zelle, you can also do that. And we even offer for those who, we serve different generations. Some generations are not very comfortable with electronic
Yep.
payments. They prefer to write
Oh,
checks.
yes.
We even give you the opportunity to write us checks. And also, if I see you in the street, I can beg you for a little 25 from my
There you
organization.
go.
I would take cash too. You know what I mean? I tell the people, I say, I may be president of Saints-Friskies Alumni Association, but I'm also the beggar in chief. I don't pay for money.
PhD,
So you know what?
PhD in
Somebody,
begging.
somebody,
BIC.
Faustina just wrote
PhD.
that. Faustina just wrote and said, please don't tell that man you're gonna make a donation because he will not let you sleep.
That's how you deliver.
So
Yep,
let me just
that's how you
repeat
do it.
that really quickly. So I have STC as in St. Teresa's Convent, SPHS.org.
That's
So
correct.
stcspHS.org.
That's
And
correct.
of course, we
That's our
have all
website.
of the other information on the
That's
website.
correct. That's where you'll
All
find
right,
it.
awesome.
And
Okay.
before we leave, I just wanted to say something a little bit about our classroom naming rights convention. Okay,
Sure.
challenge. This has been one of our biggest and most successful campaign. And the reason why I like to tout this campaign because this campaign came out of a need for us to jumpstart our fundraising during COVID. Think about it. And I think it was 2020 was the year of COVID, and our fundraising has slowed, rebuilding has slowed. We were very, very desperate. And I talked to a few people about ideas. And one of the ideas, we had talked about this before, the class challenge. But believe it or not, I wasn't too sure about it. Out of desperation, I said, okay, let's do the classroom naming rights convention. We launched this in December on December 15th of we're in 2021, December 15th of 2020. Okay. That campaign is so successful, we have raised almost $150,000 to go strictly towards the rebuilding of St. Patrick's High School.
That's
And
awesome.
again, it is the community of Saints-Friskies and our supporters, friends, and families that have come together to make that campaign successful. I
That's
thank
awesome.
God every day for it. So, folks, again, reach out to people, pick up the phone, call them. That's how I was able to get the different generations to come about. I've reached out to them, I've visited them, I've talked to them. If you needed to ask me 1,000 questions, ask. I will sit there and answer all 1,000 of them. And those questions I don't have answers for, I will always get back to you with the answers. So there's no
Awesome.
magic bullet for doing this. You just have to put a plan together and work it as much as you can. You have to be tireless because I always say, Saints-Friskies Alumni Association is actually my second job. When I get off work during the day, the job that pay me, I get off work, then I go in my basement in my office and I do the work for Saints-Friskies Alumni Association. But for me, it's worth it. So I always say thank you to everybody who support us.
And this is I volunteerism to the best.
Yes.
I think
Thank you.
you've done a phenomenal job.
Thank
I
you so
also
much.
as we close this segment, don't go because we have asked Ante.
Yes.
You may be able to answer some of the question, but Stevie, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very
I
much.
believe this is the picture of what the school is going to look like.
Yeah, that's just the classroom. But
Yes.
also on our website, we have a picture of the entire proposed design of the campus. So that's
Yes.
just one phase right there.
Okay. So this is what they've been able to raise so far, over 150,000 United States. My pastor calls it United States good Christian dollars.
That's right. That's right.
That's why he refers to it to say United States. So, but you've done, I mean, everyone, not just you,
Yes.
but everybody buying the ideas, buying the dream, buying the
Yes.
vision,
Yes.
setting the goals,
Yes.
whether it was short term or long term,
Yes. Yes.
working towards it. I
Yes.
think so many organizations should learn and emulate. I would say I am in awe of what you've done. I haven't been able to accomplish half of what you've done.
Yes.
But just the fact that one thing that's important that you said for all of us, to our guests watching, is accountability is important.
Yes.
Yes.
If you're transparent and you're accountable and people see it, they will buy into what you've done.
That is correct.
So your team at Saints-Friskies, to all that you've done, to everyone who've been watching, please stick around. Stevie, we want to say thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, Agatha.
Correction. I mistyped the Cash App information. I want to make sure I get it right. Is $SF.
Yes,
As in
SFAA.
Frisky
Alumni
AA
Association.
USA.
Yes.
Right.
That's
Okay.
it right there.
Thank you.
$sign,
Thanks for
that's it.
correcting that.
That's correct. Yeah. That is
Appreciate
correct.
So if you
Thank
want to make, if you've heard this phenomenal man has been on here motivating us,
Yes.
encouraging us to believe it's if you have differences, put it aside, work together, they'll be able to raise. I want to believe probably over $200,000 for this association.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, we've raised about so far $310,000.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And this is giving back to Liberia, educating the village. And so we're all proud of Saints-Friskies. We want, and if there are other alumni association people watching, leaders watching, this is something I'm sure Stephen is open to talking to you. Agatha is also open to talking to you to help you grow your brand, grow your alumni association. I have retired from that, so I'm not.
Never retire.
I've retired too, Steve, but I'm here for you if you need me.
Stephen, thank you. And let me tell you something. This platform is your platform.
Thank you very much.
Whenever you want to come back, we're here for you. This is what we want to see. We want people to know that there are Liberians, that we still have our country, our heart, and we still give back. So I want to say thank you to all of everybody who's been watching now. We're going to the fun part. They asked into, let me say, we're going to the app. Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
So I can leave now, right?
No, you gotta stay.
All right. Okay.
I want you to stick around to the end.
Okay,
We just have about at least 15 minutes left, and so just stick around with us.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
All right. Enter Agatha with the advertisement.
All right. So we're doing All Custom Creations. I had another one, but that's fine. So All Custom Creations was created by me and to help with my nonprofit in Liberia. All stands for Assembly of Women Empowerment, and I support about 73 children in Liberia. I pay tuition and I pay salaries for 2 of the women that help these children. So if you're looking for a Christmas present, visit allcustomcreations.org. 100% of the proceeds goes towards helping these children and women in Liberia. I do have one more to add though. Bailey's Catering that we highlighted a few weeks ago is having something on this weekend,
Saturday.
right? This Saturday. Thank you. It's November 6th. It's Bailey Caters present Mingle and Tingle. Ooh, a masquerade edition. So you want to go there and check it out. I hear the food is amazing. We highlighted their food a couple of weeks ago. So it's November 6th. And it is on Edmondson Road in Beltsville, Maryland. The print's too small for me to read. But the phone number to call and get your ticket is 443-431-3289. We're going to put this out on our Facebook page. So please visit our Facebook page, Women with Words. You want to contact us at gsbc@gmail.com. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. So check out Bailey's Caters present Mingle and Tingle. November 6th is this Saturday in the Maryland area. And of course, allcustomcreations.org. Thank you.
All righty. Auntie Beauty will be ready with her mask. Okay, let's go to Ask Auntie segment.
All right. So this week's
Stevie, you gotta answer the question though.
Let me.
Okay, what's the question?
Ask Auntie is a segment that we have every week on the show where we take questions from our audience, and it can be about anything. It can be about relationship, platonic or romantic. It can be about finances. It can be about raising children, dealing with elderly parents. Whatever your questions are, please send them to gsbc@gmail.com. So today's question for Ask Auntie is, how many of you dated that guy that was so horrible that you just cropped him off from the list? And as if it never happened. So you're dating someone, guy. Okay, in your case, Stephen, it would be a girl that you would have dated that she was just horrible on all levels. It could be sexual, it could be attitude, it could be personality, it could be hygiene, it could be anything. And she was so horrible, you just crossed her out.
Okay. Well,
have you had one of those?
Well,
and tell us about it.
I can proudly say here today that I've been one of those most fortunate men who has never had the experience of dating a horrible woman. In fact, all the women I dated actually made me look good.
Oh,
So
Hey,
I can't
like
answer that
that.
question because I have not had that experience before.
oh,
Beautiful.
wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Enter beauty.
Have you entered beauty?
Amnesia.
No, I love my interview.
What? When and where?
Okay, so she obviously had one of those, and she has written him off so far
Oh,
that
she
Google
got
can't even
amnesia.
find him.
Google can't find him.
Google can't find him.
I know.
All right. So let's go to the other one. There's one more. I do want to get into this one. If a divorced couple do not get remarried, should one of them take up the responsibility of burying the other should they die? So you're married before and you're now divorced, but both of you have not remarried to anyone else. And God forbid one of you pass away. Are you supposed to be responsible for now taking care of your ex-wife?
If I'm not, I don't know. I don't know if that would be appropriate because you say the question is both of you never got remarried, right?
You're not remarried.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. But you could be in a relationship.
Yes.
You could be, but you're
All
not
right.
remarried.
So I'm one person who when a marriage or a relationship ends, it's over. I don't
Okay.
revisit it. So my focus is on my current relationship. So no, I will not be responsible to do anything for my ex.
So let me
Okay.
give it a little twist.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have that life insurance on you.
Mhm.
So
Right.
when you die, whether I'm in a relationship or not, I'm cashing out that
Oh
life
yeah, no, you
insurance.
can do that. That's your
Yeah.
prerogative. You can do that. Absolutely.
Right. So I'm gonna take care of you
Yeah. No, you
if
can do
I
that.
still have the life insurance.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
you
So
can do
if
that.
you're
Yeah.
out there and you're separated, you got that life insurance, keep paying it. So if he dies or
Oh
she
yeah.
dies,
In fact,
you can
I
give
know
him
you
a
can collect.
decent burial.
that's a good investment.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is. How about
Yes.
you and Glendy? Would you?
So if we have no children, no, he would bury himself.
But the man did, man.
Let me bury himself. No, I will not be doing that.
Okay. All right, Enter Beauty. It's you now.
I mean, it depends. I've kept, relationships with contact with older
Ex-
relationships. And you never know if that person might have had some issues, or maybe the family doesn't have it or whatsoever. So I wouldn't mind helping. I'm not going to foot the whole burial. I mean, I'll put some in there, but I'm not going to foot the
Right.
whole burial.
Girl, get
Yeah.
that life insurance. Just get the life
I
insurance.
know, right?
Just,
Make sure
just
you
keep
got,
the life
especially if you got
insurance
kids, you're
going.
going to make sure you got some life insurance. Because if
Yes,
we got
I
children, you better have some
Yeah.
life insurance
Yeah,
and pay it on time.
absolutely. All right. So that's our Ask Auntie segment. If you have a question, regardless of what it is, please email us to that's GESBEECEE@gmail.com. All right, Auntie.
Trending topics. Maybe we can do
Okay.
one.
You want to do one? Which one?
Whichever.
Anyone.
The killings, the
Let's do this. Let's highlight the killings.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
You
go.
can go. I got that.
All right. So
Yes.
all right, so we're all looking at all of what is going on in Liberia, and I do know quite a few of my friends, including myself, who are planning to travel to Liberia in the next few months. How comfortable are we with what's going on in Liberia? Are you changing your plans? I'm thinking about making sure I get travel insurance. So, if things doesn't look too good, I'm not going anymore. And I know a lot of folks are thinking the same way. But we need something to be done in Liberia so we can feel secure to be able to want to travel. When we travel, we contribute to the economy, and that's good for Liberia. It's good for Liberians. So, this is not a political show, but we want the government to please pay more attention, make sure that they're creating a country that is safe, that people will want to come and visit, because you are going to miss out if we don't show up. You are going to miss out. The economy is going to suffer even more than it already is. And Steve, you said that yourself, that Liberia is a really difficult place. It's hard. So
Yeah,
people like us traveling and sending money and, contributing to the economy really helps. And with all of these killings that are going on, I'm not too sure, y'all. So if you're planning on traveling, make sure you get some travel insurance just in case you change your mind at that last minute.
Yeah. And I think for me also, first is to just express our sincere condolences to all of the bereaved families. People,
Yeah.
I mean, to just suddenly lose a loved one, it is tragic. My very close friend, sister was married to Reverend Tolbert.
Oh,
So
wow.
I've been talking with the family. Fortunately for the wife, she was here. She had come for checkup in the
Wow.
States. So to wake up that morning and hear that your husband was murdered, she's in a daze. She just really
Wow.
can't believe it. We've had so many people. The only thing I have to say here is to ensure that justice is served, that the government do all that they can do to ensure that there is that this comes to a halt. And whatever they need to do, if they need vigilante group, if they need to increase security, whatever they need to do, it is important that
Yeah.
something is done to stop what is going on. It's kind of difficult for people who are going home, because some people, they look forward to going home every
Yeah.
year, but they also want to be ensured that they will be safe.
Yeah.
So to our president and to the Liberian government, from Women with Words, we're encouraging you to do something about this. So that we're getting a lot of guests. We want to encourage people to go bicentennial, to go home in
Right.
December. I'm not going December, but I am coming a month after or 2 months after. I will be there next year. We want to encourage the government to do something so that we're safe, so that when we're selling this to others, we're saying, yes, Liberia, we need to go home. We need to be able to, this is also all about giving back. The
Yep.
more people you have when the environment is safe, people are comfortable with going home, it's going to boost our economy. So we want to impress upon the government of Liberia to do something about what is happening. The news is not good. We don't want to keep hearing this, and we're sure that they can do something. So we just want to encourage them to do that.
Definitely.
Anything from you, Eva?
No, you guys have said it all.
Okay. All right.
Stephen?
Yeah, I mean, I would echo the sentiments of Glendy. I really would like to express my condolences to the family of all of those who have lost their loved ones.
Yeah.
And from some of the information we're getting, we hope that they can find justice soon enough.
Yep.
Yes.
Definitely.
All right.
All right. Gift time.
Oh, yeah. So last week we gave away a bag of rice, and the lady that won the bag of rice has requested that we donate the bag of rice, and so it went to Pauline Quabo's school, and I'll say the name in just a bit. It is called
Tony
Tode
Resource
Center. So we're going to make that connection and make sure those kids have that bag of rice to be able to celebrate, to have something when they return to school. I think it's next week. So this week's present, we're giving away the 6 lapa is 6 yards of Ankara fabric. And the question for that is, where did Sasha and Jamie meet? So last week we had a guest on, Mrs. Jackie Robinson Cooper, and she told us about this amazing, she doesn't call her an employee, she calls her a family member, Sasha, who takes care of, or she's Jamie's companion, and she told us the story of where they met. So if someone can tell us where Jamie and Sasha first met, they get to take away a beautiful, beautiful 6 yards or 6 lapas of that Ankara fabric. Do we have a winner yet? Where did Sasha and Jamie meet?
Not yet, but I'm sure Interbeauty will keep watching that so we can continue. So keep watching. I want to highlight something. We're all talking about giving back here. We about the
Somebody
month
got it.
of, you got it?
Yeah,
We got
is
a
it
winner?
Quintana Stewart?
Oh,
Quintana
Patina
Stewart?
Stewart.
Christina
Patina
Stewart?
Stewart. Yes.
At swimming lessons.
All right,
Yes.
Bettina, congratulations. So look out for my message to you. I'm going to contact you to get your mailing address, and we'll put that 6 yards of fabric in the mail for you. Congratulations. Thanks for watching the show. Make sure you watch this week's show if you missed it. You want to listen to what Mr. Koffa had to say for an opportunity to win something really special next week.
Okay. So we're talking about giving back. So I wanted to talk about little Jojo quickly. About 3 weeks ago,
Yes.
we learned about little Jojo, who was selling sugarcane.
Yes.
She was selling sugarcane, and the story was actually highlighted by Mr. Stanford Peabody and his wife.
Yeah.
And this is little Jojo now. So we wanted to be able to take her on of our wings, Women with Words, and see what we could do to be able to help the Peabody send her to school. So we're still working, but we want to thank everyone on here who has made a donation to help little Jojo. Usually on Saturday, we'll share a flyer for people to make a donation. We have been able to get donations from people on Women with Words. And you can see Jojo is now in her uniform, went to school this week.
Yes.
So she is actually Women with Words. We want to say to Stanton and Vicky, thank you so much for spearheading this. We will get back in touch with you. We'll continue to encourage people to give so that little Jojo goes all the way through high school and through college. So we're excited about Jojo and her not sitting there in the hot sun selling sugarcane anymore. We'll turn this little piece over to Eva. We have a raffle coming up.
Oh, there's a raffle that's coming up. My child. There's a raffle that's coming up. Are we doing it for Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Yes, 23rd.
The 23rd
December
of
23rd. December 23rd.
December 23rd. We're gonna have a raffle going, and some of the prizes are gonna be a TV, perfume, and what was the last one?
So we have the
Earring.
first prize is a TV,
A
a 40
TV.
inch TV. Then we have a perfume, and we have 2 earrings from, say the word, Agatha.
All custom creations. So if
custom
you like what I'm
Custom
wearing, you
creations.
might get an opportunity to win it.
Yes.
So
Yes. Go ahead.
you can contact one of us to purchase your ticket. The ticket is actually $5 for one and 5 for 20, right?
Right.
Yes.
5 for 20 and one for
$5.
$5.
Mm-hmm.
So some of this money here will also go towards helping Jojo, and some of the money that we will get will also go towards covering the costs for the gifts and also producing the show. So please, it's now open. Make sure you reach out to us. This is a gift. If you already have a lot of TV in your home and you just want to patronize and somebody win the TV for someone, you're going to be hearing more about the raffle coming up, but we just wanted to let you know that it's going to be on December 23rd. When all of us on this show, that would be Eva, myself, and Agatha, and Michael Patmo, we will be here doing the raffle draw on that day.
All right.
Okay, next week's guest. Next week's guest is Mr. Alfonso Siki Horton. I don't know if you know Mr. Horton or not, but Mr. Horton is the man. His family has the Liberian Waterside Market in Philadelphia. That is how they call it. They sell Liberian food. This is the first place I went, and I was actually able to buy the real soda, the soda from back home. So they have all Liberian products in their store, and they've been in business for a long time, holding steady. They're in Philadelphia. He will be here telling us about the Waterside Market in Philadelphia, and just getting informing us on how it has been, how the business has been profitable, how he can encourage other people that are opening businesses here in Liberia. So Mr. Siki Horton will be here. Okay,
Somebody
Eva, tell the people.
asked,
Yeah.
why earrings? Why are we giving earrings?
So Christian Williams, when you win the earrings, please donate, give them to your wife as a Christmas present, brother.
Oh wow.
So we have the TV to the
All right.
So no, somebody always say when they ask us questions, and then we remind them the show is called what?
Women with words.
There you go.
Women with words.
There you go. And you know we got a lot to say.
Plenty. All right, Eva, tell the people where they can find us, because we're about to end this show today.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you all. You can find us on the Facebook page. Join the Facebook page, actually. Sign up for notifications. Women with Words. Email us with any information. And please don't forget to send us your ads. It's free. Send us your business information with we'll highlight you for that week. The email is GEES, GEESBEECEE @gmail.com. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Women with Words.
Agatha?
I just have to say, Mr. Stephen Koffa is the youngest looking 60-year-old I've ever seen.
I'm
You look like you're 40.
Don't crack.
I just have to throw that in for my father.
I don't have any more money to give you yet. I'm not giving you enough money. Stop listening.
I'm sitting here and I'm saying, look at this.
6 years old.
I mean, is 60 the new 40? I mean, come on, Brazil. We got to bring you back to tell us the secret of how you make 60 look 40.
Yeah.
Drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of water.
Yes. All type of zadiness going on.
Come on, drink water.
Drink plenty of water. Okay. Summarize everything.
You know what to do. You need to go to stcspHS.org to support Saints-Friskies. They are doing a great job. Thanks to Mr. Stephen Koffa for all of the wonderful information and, of course, all of the good work you all are doing. Thanks to the entire Alumni Association of St. Teresa's Convent and St. Patrick's School. Today, we give away six lapas, Ankara fabric. We highlighted All Custom Creations. You want to go to All Custom Creation. It's AWE Custom Creations with an S.com. And of course, we talked about how we give that bag of rice to Tode Resource Center. And next week, we're going to be hearing from the CEO and owner of Waterside Market.
Yes.
I can't wait for that. I am so excited.
And let me just say thank you to you ladies for having me on today. It was really a pleasure being here with you. I watch you as often as I have time to, and I encourage everyone to join you guys on Thursdays for the show. This is a wonderful show. I really love it.
Well, thank you. Now, if y'all hear this 60-year-old, 40-year-old man talking, you better come join us. It's been a great time, ladies. Again, Mr. Koffa, thank you so much. We had a phenomenal time with you here. Yes. Thank you to my two beautiful co-hosts, folks who have stuck around with us. Even those that are working and will watch the show later, we want to say thank you for always holding our hands up. So Mr. Michael Patman, we miss you today. I will not call it
Black Santa.
Black Santa, we miss you. But we know you're here. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Until next week, Thursday, we'll see you.